Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 hours, starting now.
Good Morgan.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
No, good. Yes, good Morgan. I said.
I know, but I'm not. You didn't say Gut Morgen.
How are you, young man? I feel a little step in my step. I feel a little. I had a hitch in my get along last week.
Yeah.
And it seems to have disappeared. And now I'm in the honeymoon period. Nothing can go wrong. We're going to win 52 states. How many do we have?
That's all we need is 52.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, my God, Josh. And of course, the thing that's amazing, I texted you Sunday morning like an idiot. I think maybe he hasn't seen this. Of course, you were probably involved in the negotiations.
Absolutely.
Of when she was going to step down. Do you speak to John Faves?
They call me the closer in the Biden administration.
Oh, my God. You have to say, and let's take a moment now, if we can, Josh.
Sure.
Let's take a moment now. Hold on.
We can take up to an hour.
To express our admiration for Mr. Joe Biden and for what he did.
Absolutely.
He's a mensch.
Yes.
And all these things that they were saying about him, like, you know, they had this one guy come on TV, goes, he's got Parkinson's. I'm a doctor. I saw him. He has a fluke to the left, and he does a kukata. He doesn't have Parkinson's. But then they visited the White House 20 times, the Parkinson's guy. So you start to think about what the hell has happened until you realize he's probably just gotten older than he knew he got older. That's what I think. I don't think he knew he was that old. Because how are you supposed to know? If I was president and I was 80, I'm old?
You're 80, right?
Well, I'd be 80. And then, are you ready to run? I think I could do 4 more years. Who wants coffee? I feel silly. That would be me at 80.
It's like you going, I'm going to make another album.
Oh. So, I think that that's interesting, and I want your take on it. I think a lot of things about this were true that people were upset about. I think there were probably people who didn't want Kamala Harris to come on board or whatever. So, I mean, I think that was part of it, but the way it worked out, those were rumors, I think. They were like, oh, they'll never let Kamala Harris run. Who's they? That type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's been 3 weeks of just total punditry only.
I know.
You know, so it's impossible to know what people actually felt or heard. You know, what you do know is that it's certainly gone from hopelessness to hopefulness very quickly.
Yes. Yes.
And that can't be bad.
Don't you have?
But it's like literally the only major news item that's created optimism. You know?
I know. And it was like, you know,
not among everybody, obviously, but among my people.
But, you know, I was going to show you this couple of tweets I did yesterday.
Oh, good.
Because they're so important.
Oh, do tell.
No, you want to hear every one, or should I go sacrilegiously? Okay. All right. Here, so
why don't you just tell me your thoughts? How about that?
This woman, Olivia Nuzzi, I've never been a fan of hers.
Don't know who she is.
Okay, but that's what's terrible about this. If you watched MSNBC as much as I did in the old days, you'd know her. So I said, you know, I tweeted that punditry is poison and what a hack and what complete garbage. She tweets, first of all, she goes, I'm now, Joe Biden has said that he is going to drop out of the race, but he specifically did not say he's going to back Kamala Harris. So then I wrote to her, why don't you wait 20 minutes? If you had waited 20 minutes, you wouldn't look like an idiot, right? Just wait the 20 minutes. So then she goes, now she's this way. The Democratic Party told its voters that they could not be trusted to select a nominee when they effectively shut down their primary process. Now they are installing a new nominee. American voters happen to like democracy. I predict some backlash. That is punditry poison. Right there. Punditry poison. First of all, it's confusing even to me. I don't like her, but I'm reading it. Oh, I didn't know. When did they cancel the thing? In other words, like there's information in there that could get you like worked up.
Right. But I mean, that's going to be at least for the next, until the convention, at least. That's going to be the Republican thing.
Right.
It's just pure, they're subverting democracy. Blah, 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 blah,
Do you think they could stop? Do you think the Supreme Court now could stop the Democrats?
No, because the official mechanism with which a party chooses their nominee is the convention.
Oh, okay. So,
and there are other people are allowed to come into the convention and try to get the nomination.
I just realized that you have a scar that I've never, because you're so handsome.
I don't think I do.
But you'll have a scar that I've never seen before. And because you're so handsome, I've never seen it before.
I don't know what scar you're talking
about. There's a light area that looks like an indentation up here.
No,
now. I don't know if that's how you came out of the womb.
Just brow furrow, kind of. It's just the way God has chiseled my aging.
Do you
it used to be covered by hair, that area.
But isn't it great that you don't have to deal with that? So, people say to me, Andy, do you like having a great head? But what a head of hair. Do you like that? I say, you know what? No. Because someone like Josh doesn't have to spend time grooming. Where did the anger come from there, you think?
I don't know. And I think your pride in your head of hair comes from some guy at a gas station who said something to your dad or whatever it was 30 years ago.
I realize this. And of the things that could happen to you in life that could give you a complex, I took the one that was probably the best, being short, because I don't really mind it and people are nice to me. But I think
I kind of feel the same way about baldness at this point.
Oh, see, I think that there's people who don't like it at all.
Oh, no, I know that.
And they tried, like, I had my friend who tried, and he's a wonderful friend. Bill wouldn't mind me. Bill Kaufman, the comedian. Turned therapist, and he went to all kinds of things, like, and spent thousands of dollars trying to grow things.
No, I mean, once I made the decision that I wasn't even willing to put some kind of cream on my head every day to try to stop it, then I knew that it wasn't going to be that important to me.
But
I didn't like the balding.
Right.
I hated it, but just because I had such a weird fucking pattern going. It was just dumb looking,
But now it looks good.
I wasn't trying to conceal the fact that I was balding so much as just an ugly pattern. And now now I wear a hat to protect my head from.
Yeah, but you look good. People think you shaved your head for sports reasons.
Sure.
And some people look great. Yul Brynner, for example, was the example I gave my whole
fantastic.
life.
I'm very pleased with my head shape. I was really worried about my overall head shape, but it works.
So that's the thing. What if you did have a malpattern baldness, and then they uncovered that someone had put a Twinkie in your head or something like that? Then you'd have to have.
That's really a smart question.
There were no smart questions. They were just stupid questioners. I mean, there's no stupid questions. They were just stupid questioners. You knew the joke even when I said it wrong.
I did.
Hey, were you able to more easily edit this last week because of the lack of this sound?
You can't. You're not giving me the sound because you put the mic away from it.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a long silent pause there that I have to deal with when you take a long sip of coffee. But it's just, it's less.
Well, let me think about that, Josh. Nothing like Java to get my mind moving.
Right.
There's no pause. I'm doing it while you're talking. Why don't you talk?
It's now Andy now holds his mic at arm's length away from his mouth when he's sipping coffee. So it's like the Statue of Liberty play every time he takes a sip.
The thing is, a lot of people were asking me, are you and I at arm's length in this podcast? Because if not, there could be serious of financial problems down the road. Are you at arm's length from me?
I like to think more of a 10-foot pole.
Why was that? Why did tall people enjoy this thing where they would put? They all do it too. They put their hand on the top of your forehead,
and then you swing wildly.
And
you
at them. Swing wildly.
Yeah,
you swing wildly.
It's all we got. It's
but couldn't I have just gone?
When I was a fencer in high school. I was in meets where it would be like all ages sometimes, and sometimes it would be the sword equivalent of that with a kid who was much smaller than you. Where it's just like, all I got to do is stick out my arm, pretty much, because you can't get inside it.
We never talked about this before, that we both took fencing. How could that have not happened?
I think it has. I think you just don't retain anything.
You was it saber or was it?
No, I was a foil guy.
Oh, no wonder. No wonder. Those are the most. I couldn't make an argument against foil. It looks interesting, foil, but I thought my thing was when I was gonna, and like when I got in college, I choreographed a couple of schmoopies because I learned that, and it worked out very well. It turns out that
that's
choreographing,
not fencing. Stage fencing is not fencing.
No. I'm saying, I understand that, but I got some ideas from the slashing and the thing and the body.
Okay, yeah.
Like plus, watching those.
This is why we never talked about fencing, by the way.
Well, how long did you do it for?
Like a year.
Oh, but you did enjoy it. See, I loved it. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah, no, I did enjoy it.
Well, you took the more boring part. If you had saber, you'd be like,
no,
right now.
I took the part that didn't hurt really badly.
What hurt?
Saber and epee both hurt. Foil doesn't hurt so much.
Oh, but that's because I'm more of a masculine man than you are.
Clearly.
I want the pain. But we were wearing a thing, though. I didn't feel much. Plus, how much did I do it? A year, like you. A year. And I loved my teacher. He was a French guy. Oh, my God. And he was like lithe. He was lithe, svelte.
Lithe, you mean?
Is that right?
Yeah.
And then he could extend. Basungi. He didn't say basungi, but...
I would hope not.
I really... And I feel bad because I really think there was a lot of money in fencing that I left on the table.
Uh-huh.
Did you... I was in college. I know you didn't go to college because you're smart. Because why would you? You already had a thriving career.
I did go to college. I didn't remain in college.
Right. And so I remained in college. And so then when it was time to take sports, I didn't really want... fencing I took, but then I had to take another athletic class. And so I took... It was called Running to Awareness. And I'm not even making fun of it. It was one of the best courses I've taken just because the guy was spiritual himself. Not that he taught us anything.
Uh-huh.
But he was just like, get out here, kids. Let's, don't you feel the thing? And we actually did. We ran to awareness.
Wow.
And that started me on what I thought would be a lifetime of running and jogging. But I learned that
it was neither a lifetime of running and jogging nor awareness.
Well, that's not true. I ran in the Drake relays, whatever that is. I ran I ran a 10K, which my time was 52 minutes in a 10K.
Yeah.
I think that's like 8-minute
What's
miles.
a world record time for a 10K?
51 minutes, like I did. I really don't know. You don't follow that. I don't follow that kind of thing anymore. Tell me who's the leader in the 100-meter dash. I wouldn't know that, but that would be something I would say 10 flat, 9, something like that.
Uh-huh.
My brother was very fast. He ran a 10 flat 100-yard dash.
That's very fast.
That's right.
I don't know
what did you have to do the metrics?
So fast, I'm not even sure I believe it, really.
No, my brother was very fast and he could run. He was my hero when he was. First of all, he was my hero because he was my older brother. But oh my God, I thought he was the greatest athlete I'd ever seen in my life.
I'm doubting the 10 flat 100-meter dash.
Well, no, not 10 meters, not 100 meters. That's where you're getting it wrong.
That's what you
it's
said.
100 yards. I meant to say 100 yards.
Okay.
He didn't run meters back then, so that's slightly slower, right?
9.2 seconds is the official world record on that.
For the meter.
100-yard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's not bad.
1962. Which
10
would
flat.
have been around the same time as your brother doing it, I imagine.
And let me tell you something. No, I think a little bit. But let me tell you, that wasn't a bad time. 10 flat. He was the fastest guy in high school. Why don't you celebrate my brother's heroism?
It feels more like family lore than truth, if that's why.
Family lore is only impressive to a certain degree. For example, family lore. My father was a championship handball player. This is an actual truth that he had won some kind of a high school thing. So I thought he was the greatest handball player in the world.
Well, you also think your mom is one of the foremost doll experts in the world.
Oh, that is
and
true.
I don't know how true that is either.
Well, I'm not
did she write books? Was there what was?
I think if you look into that field and didn't fall asleep within 5 seconds, you would find that my mother was the go-to person for dolls. She wasn't the number. I'm saying she was the most knowledgeable person in the world. That's probably a lie. But she was up there.
I believe she knew her shit.
Don't get me
wrong, but it's the world's foremost thing that you always throw in that makes me feel.
I have to when I say positive things, it has to be a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
To cover up the negative things that I didn't know maternal. What is that word maternal? I don't even know what does that mean?
It's just
I didn't have that.
It's a word that makes your chest hurt. I don't know.
Because I think I told you that story about going to my Aunt Charlotte's house when I was 6 years old or 7 years old, 8 years old or whatever it was, and I didn't have my toothbrush, so she goes, we're going to use your finger tonight. And then, because she was paying attention to me. And then the delicious apple was the most delicious apple. I couldn't believe. Why didn't they have that in my house? Because she was being an aunt and servicing and being nice.
Right.
Would you like a sandwich? Then you're going to have a sandwich. My mother would say, would you like a sandwich? It's catch as catch can.
That really stung you, that catch as catch can thing. Man.
Well, first of all, it implies that there's going to be intramural fighting with your family. I don't want to fight with my family over it.
All right. Yeah, it does apply. There's sort of a survival of the fittest element there.
I'm thinking I'm sleeping better since you know what I'm talking about. The whole thing.
The weekend's off?
The political. Oh, no. I'm having what you said is stuck in my craw. Not my craw, but stuck in my brain. I do have problems. I don't smoke a lot from Tuesday to Friday. I barely, even though I don't smoke Saturday, Sunday, Mondays, right?
Yeah.
You'd think I'd go nuts on Tuesday, Wednesday.
Jokes, like silent visual jokes, just don't work on an audio podcast. But Andy is manually winking his eye as he's saying this.
Yeah, if you had done the YouTube, if you go on the YouTube route like I begged you to do, how much money would we be making if it was on YouTube?
None.
$1 a month?
None.
Well, probably the good YouTube deals are bad. I mean, aren't as lucrative as they once were. Unless you went into it onto
it's more that people don't care.
They don't care about what?
Us.
This is why the show is.
They care less about me than you, I'd say, but still, they don't care.
This is why the show isn't popular, because you don't have positive thinking. You need to positively think. This show will be the biggest show on the radio. We will get $100 million deal. Like, I can't. It still sticks in my craw. $100 million.
Yeah,
I'm not envious.
It was a moment.
Not envious.
It was a moment.
What if I said I don't believe it? I don't believe it. You guys exaggerate. Then I found out it was only $40 million. That still would be a wonderful payday. Right?
Still, I don't think it would lessen your jealousy.
No, my jealousy is based on my mixed feelings about my relationship with Karen Kilgariff, who I love, and yet have mixed feelings about, because she could be judgmental, and then sometimes she'd yell at me, and then
she could be judgmental. He says,
"What?
She could be judgmental."
What's so funny about that?
Sorry, go ahead.
You're playing the laughing guy, and I'm playing the dumb guy.
I win.
So I jealousy. But I think I'm healthier now. Shut up with your healthier now. Nobody is going to tune into a "How did your therapy help you" podcast. No one's going to tune in for that. But in the old days, I would just get mad. In the old days, here's what I would do. I would get mad at Karen or whoever I was mad at, build a case against her. She did this.
Which you were just doing a second ago.
Yeah, kind of. But then I wouldn't accept that I was building a case against her, that we're all human beings, that my envy of her is probably just because she's younger and more popular, whatever the thing was.
Talented.
No. So, and then I told you there's about 70 to 80 to 90 podcasts that have now followed. I'm not saying maybe they were the first one, but there were millions after them of two people. Hey, I might tell you about a true crime. Sarah, how was your weekend? Oh, good. Did you take a bookabee? Oh, did you go to the fair? What are we going to talk about today? I hate it like poison. It's like, come on. I'm interested in this case.
You want more of a Jack Webb kind of a approach to your true crime?
You see, this is where we differ. I did not see Jack Webb as a wonderful crime guy.
But he got to it.
He got to it, and he did what? Did he want a lot of
not a lot of idle chit chat?
He didn't want flowery language around it.
No.
Did he want the people to tell them a story about the crime, or what did he want to get to? The facts, just the facts. That was a terrible show. But I also thought Adam 12 was a good show. Is that the name of a show?
It is a good. It was the name.
One
of a
Adam
show.
12.
It wasn't a good show, but it was the name of a show.
It was. My argument was it was better than Dragnet because that was the worst show that you could possibly have, except as a laugh thing.
Yeah.
When they would bust some reefer smokers.
Right.
He's smoking reefer, right? That Jack Webb sounds like a Nazi. I think he was literally a Nazi. And we'll be back with more discussions about people that nobody really remembers. He was funny when he went on the Johnny Carson show. That's the only time.
I like Jack Webb in his way.
Let me finish. Jack Webb is the kind of thing
I don't know what his actual politics were, but
he was a Nazi. I mean, not literally. Back then, you could just say you were right wing.
Right. I mean, one can infer what his politics were, certainly. But.
I love when you know the difference between infer and imply. It shows me that you are a man who is sophisticated. I try to hold these things.
I'm a college dropout.
But I don't pay attention to that. By the way, I have silenced my whatever it's called. That you didn't hear that, right?
No.
So it's like I've been getting this for the last week. Do you support 2 weeks? Do you support President Biden? Would you rather have Kamala?
700% match.
There's a 3,000% match, and it's a preschool, and it's preschool politics. Preschool politics. I miss preschool. I wish we could go back, but you can't go back to the same well.
No.
But I miss that well.
It feels desperate whenever I try to revisit it too much.
You don't.
I did a preschool thing the other week.
Oh, but that's not too much. But what I want you to do, and what I want to do every show is say, what are you here for? You like grapes? I'm here for the cotton who can the grapes. Do you think if the fact that I do voices differently every time is an indication of my range?
I think it's you just hate the idea of a brand.
I want to tell you what a person that I'm still like a 9-year. See, I think I'm a 8-year-old person because last night
you're an 8-year-old person too.
Right, and because Susan said, "Are you going to go to sleep before me?" I said, "Why are you staying up?" Something like that.
Yeah.
So
that sounds more like an 89-year-old person than an 8 or 9-year-old person.
I mean, I do that a lot. I don't know how I started this. I'm not going to phone a friend. Aren't you going to tuck me in with my Bosco? Why is it Lou Costello? Why am I Lou Costello when I'm in bed? Tuck me in with your Bosco? I still can't get the episode out of my mind. I think it's the ant paste episode, but the episode is with Mr. Fields.
I don't have an encyclopedic memory of
Abbott and Costello?
Abbott and Costello's TV shows now.
So Mr. Fields comes over and he goes, "Take a look at this, Lou. Take a look at this." He looks inside. There must be some naked woman in there. What the heck? And they go the whole show with that thing, and it ends with he's cooking antipasta. By mistake, he puts ant paste in because you keep them right next to each other.
Right.
I used to think, I unfortunately was too young to realize that these were horrible shows. Well, I guess Abbott and Costello was not. Abbott and Costello was funny.
It doesn't matter. They were on. It's not like you had alternatives.
How many times have I told you, Mom, I just want to watch PBS on the weekends? We didn't call it PBS then. We called it Channel 13.
Yeah. Julia
WNET.
Child. That's where Julia Child came on.
I think she did. Yes. Julia Child. And also, I loved Graham Kerr.
Yes.
The Galloping Gourmet. He was so funny, and then he decided not to drink anymore. And he wasn't as funny, but he was healthier. Yeah. But when he first had his show, it was like, "Hey, darling, come on up here. Oh, try this corned beef." I thought he was so funny because he was drunk.
Yeah. Well, he was.
And he was drunk.
Right. And funny.
I think he got into terrible accident. Both could be true. And that's how we refer to you. Well, you don't have anything I can refer. No habits I can refer. Oh, you smoking. Hey, how's the smoking, Smokey?
Vapey, call me, I think.
Hey, I was thinking about you. Yes, I know you're vapey. But I was thinking about you yesterday because I was watching the British Open. I don't know if you watched any of it.
I did not.
There's a local guy. His name is Daniel Brown. He's like a English. He didn't win, but he did very, very well. And he's like local popular guy in England, right?
Uh-huh.
So they go, oh boy, he's been really smoking it around the course. You see him. They go to him. Smoking a thing, smoking a butt,
John
and
Daly
then,
style. Loving it.
yes, and then he leans over to do a nice selfie with some people in the crowd. It was so sweet. It was so damn sweet, and it made me think maybe if I was a world-class golfer, it would be charming to be a smoker. Then see, he's a golfer.
It kind of is.
No problem.
It kind of is. It's outdoors. It's
Well, I would have thought by now they would have worked out a way to just let us smoke fucking non-filtered stuff and make it all positive. By now, I would have thought they would have. No, they're not going to do that.
They're not. You okay?
I'm okay now, but last week was rough.
Uh-huh.
So there's really nothing. I have nothing new because it's all been. I've been waking up every day for the past month depressed.
Yeah.
Every day. And telling myself it's not, you can't do this. You cannot do this.
Right.
You must continue to live. And I could be in November could be end up being terrible, right? But I don't think it's going to be.
Well, I mean, it's almost besides the point in terms of just this feeling.
Yes, you're right.
This feeling is at least we can fight now.
Yeah.
Because that's what was so demoralizing about the debate and everything subsequently was
you couldn't say anything.
We can't
really.
fight. We just can't fight. This is not the guy who can fight.
No.
And just seeing B-roll of her striding swiftly next to a military guy getting off of a helicopter this morning. It was like, ha ha! And then seeing her, go from the one thing that neither candidate could do up till now is go from the beginning to an end of a sentence.
Right. Well, Trump can't, right? Because he
can't, because he'll digress too. It was just like just seeing someone like have a coherent idea from capital letter to period.
Well, yeah, she's
was really nice because even Biden at his best.
No, he was even
his rhetorical style is just
boring,
cornball.
Well, even worse than that because it was like, I know I'm serious.
I'm not joking here. I'm not joking. Like that made me fucking cringe every time, and that's him at his best. So
I was like, when he went on the press, what's the thing where they make fun of the president every year? They used to do it, the congressional.
Yeah, the White House correspondence.
And he did a pretty good job, but it was like, I know that I was overvaluing his job that he was doing.
Yeah.
And, it's like, once you've seen Obama say, why don't you have a beard, Mitch McConnell? It's hard to watch. The fact that he approved that joke and the fact that he delivered it brilliantly, that you go, oh my God. And also when Obama went with Zach Galifianakis, that was like a big thing for him.
Yeah.
Have I told you how much I love the guy?
He's a great guy. He's everything I wanted to.
And people are joking. They go, oh, maybe Michelle Obama really was going to run.
All right.
She said she wasn't going to run, fellas. She's not playing coy.
She hated this shit almost as much as Melania does. She was just a lot more gracious about it.
Melania doesn't seem to. I haven't learned much about her in the many years that we've been.
She's inscrutable.
Well, one thing you can say about you may agree with him or not agree with him. He knows a pretty lady when he sees it. Oh God, my heart is soaring. My heart is soaring, but then the OCD gets me and goes, because if Trump did win, you'll have 9-0 rulings in the Supreme Court within 2 years.
9-0. They're gonna kill the other three.
Well, no, I mean, whatever happens, 7-2, 8-1.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just feel like I said, you can't tell what's going to happen in November, but the one thing that I've observed is Trump's number doesn't fucking move. So
he's never done what?
Trump's number doesn't move.
Right. You have assuaged me and made me feel, if that's a word, made me feel much better by telling me that a couple of weeks ago that he never gets over 46 or 44.
47, I think, is about the number that you see, and it's just like it doesn't go up, and it can't go up really.
Right.
So the thing has always been, can Democrats get people out?
Yes.
And
because
I think the biggest deadening factor of all this was fucking Biden versus Trump, really, again,
Oh,
and
yeah,
so
yeah.
I think that people who tuned out just from that very fact,
right,
are now much more apt to get involved, at least to the point of voting, and if not more.
Well, on election night, this is what I'm going to be. Till the landslide brought us up. See what I'm saying? The landslide brought. I do a parody of the Fleetwood Mac song, and the landslide. So the. Oh God, I don't know. You probably don't get sick of yourself in the middle of a sentence, do you?
Flimsy Buckingham, ladies and gentlemen.
Once I found out, I always liked the name Fleetwood Mac. Not really, but I just knew that was their name. But I don't necessarily like. But then when I found out why it was Fleetwood Mac, it didn't make me feel any more excited about the name. No, because he's McVie and he's Fleetwood. But Fleetwood is a cool name. Is that it? McVie, Christine McVie, John McVie, Mick Fleetwood, Fleetwood Mac.
I'm gonna kill you.
What, you don't? Oh, is that another Beatles thing?
No.
Is that another Beatles thing?
Well, yeah, kind of.
Did you know it? You didn't know it.
I did. I knew forever.
Why do you?
I knew the biggest clue was Mick Fleetwood was in the band.
Yeah, but how did you figure out Mac?
And then I went, oh, John McVie. I got it.
No, you didn't get it until you didn't even get Beatles. I don't think until I brought it up, because I could be like a musicologist or something like that. My depth of and my ability to communicate ideas in an articulate way. That's what my thing is. Why would you do a podcast with someone you despise? That's my question to you.
That's exactly what the question I was asking too. Finally, we are on the same wavelength.
Exactly. I think something needs to change. Either I need to. What do they used to go? You need an attitude adjustment, Mister. I'm still very tired though. You perked me up from this call, but I was so exhausted.
Yeah.
How do you do it every day? You get up early every day.
I do. It's weird.
Is it like 7?
Earlier a lot.
And when do you go to sleep?
Like midnight-ish.
You're going to die, my friend. You need more rest. So no matter what you do, you can't. So that's what I'm been in the mornings too, but I don't. But you don't feel well rested, right? Or you do feel well rested?
I feel fine, but I usually wake up as a sense that, it's usually like if I can't fall back asleep, I'm done. I don't.
Yes. You don't.
I'm big. I'm very big on not being in bed when I'm not sleeping.
Which makes total sense. So you must get so much stuff done in the morning. Unbelievable the amount of work that you must get done, even before the podcast. With your
just tearing through the New York Times puzzles.
Oh, come on! Why wouldn't you be up working on a new ice cream? Or up? You do that too, right? You work on your ice cream.
Oh, my brain's always working on a new ice cream. I made straight up vanilla this weekend because I really wanted to rip your float.
You really wanted to what?
A rip your float.
Oh, I thought you said rip your throat.
Well,
rip your throat. And how did it come out?
It was good.
It's easier without having to mask, not having to, when you can have sugar.
It is easier, yeah.
And it tastes good.
It was good, yeah. Yeah.
Why did sugar become, who's the genius, who's the idiot who decided diabetes would be a good thing?
I don't know, Mr. Haichu.
Oh, that's so depressing. It's so depressing. I feel like, would I be healthier now had I never had soda? But I couldn't avoid soda when I was a kid.
I think yes.
Could you avoid soda when you were a kid?
Not when I was a kid, no. Although we did, my mom had enough diet freakazoiddom in her head that we did have like Slender Cola a lot of the time and things like that.
And Fresca.
We didn't have Fresca much because no one drank it, but
yeah. Tab.
My grandparents always had the Fresca around for some reason.
And you probably Tab in your lifetime.
There was some Tab. There was Diet Right at one point. There was the whole line of Slender.
So is that what you drank, or you tried to find the coke?
No, we did a lot. I mean, I did a lot of both. But I was far from no one was monitoring the amount of sugar I was, it was all, it wasn't about diabetes, it was about fat,
Right. But
it was some of it was for my mom herself, but some of it was just her managing her own guilt versus nutrition thing.
Right. Oh, but she struggled with weight stuff?
She struggled more emotionally than physically with weight stuff. I mean, she was always somewhat overweight, but never, obese.
Right.
But her father laid such a fucking trip on her growing up.
Oh, God.
Her joyless fuck of a father.
Just the worst. Did you know? And when did you know? You knew him as a grandpa, right?
No, he died like 2 months after I was born.
Oh, okay. And how about on the other side?
And that was just about the only window where he would have taken any joy from me as a person. The first 2 months of my life. Probably.
So he was,
and even that I was like fat. He probably disapproved of me because I was born like 12 pounds.
So he was a champion, mean guy.
It's hard for me to actually give a true report because I didn't know him, but I know that all of my mother's feelings about him were pretty much negative. Like he was the major negative. My mother's mother, I think, was a fairly joyful person,
right?
Although,
right,
like a negative joyful person. That's just Jewish.
Yes.
But he was like a pharmacist, and so apparently he was very nice to his customers.
When they're nice to the customers, right?
But like he got mad at my mom for laughing at the table. He got mad. It was just like he was dour and the two things my mom loved were laughing and food, and my grandfather scolded, was critical of both.
Well, it didn't dissuade her from having fun though in life.
No, it made her rebellious towards her father emotionally.
Yeah. And what about the mom?
The mom was, like I said, negative but loving.
Oh, that's what you just said. Yeah. And you do remember her more?
Very
you
much.
Do remember?
Yeah, no, she lived until I was about 20.
Oh. And did she also complain about the husband? Was it known amongst the family that he was kind of an asshole?
No, he was sort of sanctified, because he died from.
Did you ever?
And then she had a second husband when I was growing up who also died when I was maybe 10 or 12.
Oh, wow.
But he was just sort of Bill. He was Bill. He wasn't Grandpa. He was just, there's Grandpa.
Bill.
Yeah. There's
Yeah. Did she? He was a pharmacist. Did that ever happen? Where it said, "Mr. Wilson, you shut up, Mr. Wilson, you're gonna poison."
No, but he did actually kind of look like Mr. Gower.
What's his name?
Mr. Gower.
Is that the name of the guy in the movie?
Yes.
But he's a famous actor too, right? Who played? No, maybe not. He couldn't be on Green Acres, right?
No, but he looks like him.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. So how about you? I don't know if we talked on the other side about how your grandma was and your grandpa on your father's side.
We talked about my grandpa because he was the one whose gambling debts.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He made the paper, right?
He made the national news.
And then your grandma on that side?
My dad's mom was, she got polio when he was a toddler.
Man.
And was a very determined, smart, educated woman with a sort of Blanche Dubois kind of sense of the world.
That's so great. It is amazing, though. We complain.
She was a fantasist in many ways.
Did she have an accent like that? Did she have like
she came from
Candy Grapes accent?
She came from Seattle, actually.
Oh.
But she grew up privileged in Seattle.
Oh.
And then apparently her brother stole the family fortune from her.
So there were thieves, a lot of thieves back then, that side of the family.
Well,
Crooks.
different sides of the family was split that way.
Oh, right. I can't keep it's very hard for me to keep.
It's hard for you to keep it straight, period. So
yeah. That's true. No, how many first cousins do you have?
Why? What are you filling out?
Because I'm tired of the podcast. I'm tired of myself, and I figure if I push it off into your, because I think this is what people who long-time listeners, first-time callers would
both
want
of my parents had one sibling who each had 2 daughters.
Okay, then I got all the facts out now. Who are you close with now on the cousin level?
On the cousin level, I'm not very close with anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't speak to my cousins that much because they don't have my number.
I went that bar mitzvah I went to a couple months ago was
that's right.
Was the kid of my first cousin, one of my first cousins.
So there's no. It all sounds very familial to me.
It all sounds very like we're on a plane.
Oh, in other words, we just met each other.
Yes.
What do you do? What do you do?
This is where I lie.
You know what? The thing is, when I first got on planes, I wasn't the idiot who would like to meet people.
Yeah.
And it took me about 10 years to realize, why are you doing this? Because 50% of the time it would be awful.
I'm the guy who people who are like that decide I'm the target.
Oh, they go right for you because you're quiet?
They go right for me because I listen and ask questions.
And you don't say you're a comedian, right? That's
I try
worst,
not
right?
to. I often don't. It depends on the situation.
Because
I suss it out.
Even
but most people are like, they don't much care about me. They want to talk about themselves. And I'm, Frank Conniff used to, on our cinematic Titanic trips, he was just like, he noticed how it was just like, people were just like fucking drawn to me to talk at me for 2 hours.
How did you? I'm surprised you didn't excuse yourself quickly.
No, I don't. I'm interested in people. If my dad once said, if someone wants to tell you everything about everything they know, let them, because then you'll know everything you know and everything they know.
Well, that's why you became a documentarian.
Yeah, no, I'm genuinely interested in people, and if I can establish a thing where I can ask sort of real, honest, probing questions in the conversation instead of just keeping it small talk, I kind of enjoy it.
Believe it or not, I also can be in that mode too. I know it's hard to imagine me, but I love stories in general, so I love to hear a story from people.
Yeah.
When I was a bartender, I liked it too.
Yeah, so I'm genuinely curious about it, and I'm not that interested in talking about I don't feel like answering showbiz questions, certainly.
That's well, the reason is the quality of the showbiz questions on a plane are never big. They never get the names right.
But but occasionally it works out too, because like I was sitting next to this woman once, and she was like a former sister-in-law to James L. Brooks, or a former in-law to James L. Brooks.
Oh, no, that's good.
And she was related to like this apparently horrible wife he had that the movie Spanglish was about, and this relative of the ex-wife was totally on James L. Brooks' side about her being horrible.
I think that was an Adam Sandler movie.
It was that James L. Brooks wrote.
And James L. Brooks, it's a terrible movie. I'm just telling you, I didn't see it. Terrible, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, because Tia Leone is very funny. She's very good.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to see it now.
No, you're not.
I'm a big fan. She's very funny, Tia Leone. I'm saying Tia Leone. It may not even be Tia Leone.
I don't care.
I learned last night that there's only one way to spell lens. Lens. And if the only time you say spell it with an E at the end is if there's lenses. Plural. What else did you do on the weekend?
But what if you're in Variety and someone's going to lens a movie?
I love that. That's my say. I just love that. Oh, do they spell it Lense?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
No, they could have lensed a movie, but they couldn't lens a movie E. It would be Lens. And the grammar girls will go nuts on you and tell you why it's wrong.
Right, but if you're using it as a verb, it's a whole new word.
Oh. Well, I think you're right then. Then I think I'm going to lend something. Lend something. I don't know, because I'm very bad when it comes to past tense and participles.
And the Kindler's been hired to lens the new pick by the Prexy.
Lens. I think you're bringing up a point, the verb.
Yeah, no, I'm not really.
And remember that Simon Garfunkel song? And the dangling participle. And the... Oh, I thought that was so clever. And the dangling participle. You know, it's like, and the dangling conversation. And the superficial lies. We're just a habit, like saccharin. I used to love that line. Do you think I was overly in love? No, I think I was just the right amount in love with Simon and Garfunkel.
I don't know. I don't know that there's too much.
Do you feel bad for the woman Maggie in the song Maggie? It's not like she's going, I love you, Maggie, you're a great lover.
Maggie May, you mean?
Yeah, because it's not like she's saying, let me get back to school. This is the greatest thing, but I can't stay here. It's like the morning light shows your age.
No, it's cougar shaming.
That's exactly what it is. And I have to say right now, if it wasn't Rod Stewart singing it and it wasn't a great song, I don't know if I would have liked the song. No, I guess, it's also by a time period. The time period, you could probably get away with saying, this old lady liked me, or something like that.
Well, Lola's transphobic and still a good song.
What's Lola? Is Lola about transgender?
Yes.
Oh.
You're just getting that? Like the Beatles?
I have to tell you something that, no. I want you to know this is the truth. Every time I hear a Kinks song, I love the Kinks, but I never grew up with them, so I'm not as familiar with them. So all I know is L-O-L-A, Lola. I never knew what that song was about.
Listen to it once.
Is it a negative song, though?
Kind of.
Well, I don't like that.
It's a panic. It's a panic induced. So.
Well, as opposed to Lou Reed.
Yes, that was much more loving.
That's a much more loving, and also in the time period, you couldn't say, "Oh, he was anti." It was just describing the scene.
Yes,
I love that song because there's a great sax solo too.
David Sanborn, I believe.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Not bad. And when did David Sanborn play on? Did he come on Letterman a lot? I think he came on Letterman.
He did, yes.
And then he did a late night show, I think.
He did.
With Jules Holland, maybe?
Night music, yes.
Yes. And was that with Jules Holland? Oh, I love that guy.
It was, yes.
Oh, I'm so good with names. 10 more minutes.
I saw
Josh.
Jules Holland at the Royal Albert Hall.
And was it great?
It was great, yeah.
He's an organist, right?
Yeah, pianist.
Oh, okay. Why would I say organist?
Well, he plays organ as well. He's a keyboardist.
Yeah. Was he in Squeeze?
Yes.
Oh, God, what a great group. How would I have made my mark in Squeeze? First of all, you have to put me in, came out of college with a Grateful Dead band. Now I'm going to go to Squeeze. You know I couldn't make it into Talking Heads. But right out of college, why wouldn't Squeeze be delighted by my harmonies? When am I going to let go of the fact that I'm not a rock star?
I don't know.
I think I've let go of it. But I think it's the fantasy side.
Well, the fantasy is that it was ever a possible destiny.
No, I know you think that I would.
That's the fantasy. Is that somehow a great music career was somehow they were unjustly thwarted, and you had to settle for comedy.
No, that's not really what it is. It's all ego. I would have liked to. I now realize.
I know that.
Well, right, but now I realize I didn't put enough time. Now I realize I was filled with self-loathing. So it wouldn't matter what I did for a living back then. I was filled with self-loathing.
Right.
But absolutely, I think it's because I grew up only loving music and the Beatles and everything, that I was obsessed with it.
Yeah.
That I must have absolutely thought that. But always it would be great.
You didn't diversify your fantasy portfolio.
I didn't debate. I was Willie Mays. I loved to be Willie Mays, and I loved sports until I was obviously not good at it.
Right.
I don't think you've ever had to deal with this thing where all of a sudden everyone's twice your size and they're banging on your head.
That's another thing I won't miss from Biden, by the way. Is the whispering punchline.
Oh God. You're supposed to spend more time being admirable.
I have tremendous admiration for him, both as this public servant, as an accomplished president, and as a human being.
Right.
But he was filled with quirks that I found annoying.
Well, he was
still is. But.
Well, he was terrible on the Clarence Thomas hearing.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, it's almost like ridiculously cliche to say this, but it is true that he would not be the same person had he not gone through that tragedies that he went through. That really deepened his ability to relate to people and to have empathy.
That's true, but those tragedies all happened before Anita Hill.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. No. Once he got into political mode, when he was in political mode, he was a pretty terrible politician on the left. I mean, he never impressed me ever. He never impressed me amongst the people, and even didn't. Well, he wasn't around for Clinton, right? He didn't try to run then. I don't think. 2000, he tried to run, maybe.
I think he ran in '88.
Oh, okay.
And then again in maybe 2000, early on.
Yeah. You know what's sad is that when the people voted for the wrong people, like I actually believe Jimmy Carter, and looking back on him, he wasn't a great politician, but he had his heart in the right place, and he really wanted to he wanted to get his energy independent. So I think he was a good, but he wasn't a very good being, but I admire what he did. But then when I think of like, if Dukakis had got in, it wouldn't have been George Bush, which would have been way better. But I don't know how I don't think about Dukakis and go, oh my God, but for the grace of, I mean, he would have been the hero.
Right.
Or in 92.
Well, I don't think anyone else sensed that either. That's why he lost.
And in 92, I never loved Clinton. I always thought he was kind of sleazy. But the guy who ran against him, Panda Bear, that guy, and then he died. What was that guy? Oh, why? It's wrong that I'm asking you. It was the guy who was the number one guy running against Clinton, and he kept calling Clinton the Panda Bear, and then he died much later, a few years from now. Then. Well, I think that I have a fairly good knowledge that it was Reagan against Carter in 80. It was Mondale against Reagan in 84. It was Dukakis against Bush. Then it was Clinton against Bush. But I can't remember. But why would I remember the primaries?
Then it was Clinton Dole. Then it was
Clinton Dole. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't remember. I remember like Dick Gebhardt was there. I remember Al Gore was there. I remember.
Yeah.
I don't.
Dick Gebhardt was a guy like you could get excited about a little bit because he was a populist.
Yeah.
There's so many people.
Ross Perot was involved in 92 and 96.
My parents were delighted by it, and even I was delighted by it. I knew he was crazy, but there was something delightful about his energy on Larry King when he first came on. Larry, he was like just like
No, he was
simple.
a funny character, absolutely.
He was a funny character, and he really did think it's just simple. You get the people in the room, and it's simple, and they do it.
All right. He had a very Donald Trump-like approach to everything.
Would Bush have won the second time if he wasn't in?
I don't know.
Wow. All I'm thinking of is I can't think of the name of that guy. He's like from the. Is this good? Is this good radio?
I just need one more fact other than
one more fact. I know.
I don't know. I don't remember the.
He used to
thing.
call Clinton the Panda Bear.
I know you're saying that, but it
can I keep saying the same things over and over again? Then he died. Then he died. But Dukakis is still alive. If he was, I think.
I don't think
maybe
he is.
not.
I think he died.
I remember when Olympia Dukakis won for Moon River, when she won for Moonstruck, she said, "Go, Michael." And I got excited at that point that there would be some kind of connection to her cheering that the Democrat. But that may have been. Oh, the worst was probably 84. Was the worst election for Democrats. I think we lost almost every state.
Except mine. Except mine.
Yes. And 88 wasn't much better.
No.
We got
it was, I think they lost just mine and Massachusetts.
Thank God for yours.
Yeah.
Did you ever meet Humphrey?
No, I met his kid. I had a run-in with his kid once, in fact.
Like you tried to beat him up or something, or?
No. He was a state attorney general, and he came to my school, and I asked him questions that annoyed him, and then he started ignoring me.
You would think the Humphrey family would be hilarious and have a great sense of humor.
Now, his descendants were pretty much assholes, but I think he was a great guy.
Yeah, he was. Hubert Humphrey was a great guy, and when you think about how close he came to beating Nixon, Oh God, I'm so tired. I'm tired. You know what I'm tired of? My repertoire. It's
Yeah.
just my repertoire. I'm a delightful person, I think, in many
Sure.
ways.
In some context, sure.
Some context. It's not that I do have some fumfering with my language, but that's not the problem.
No, that's not.
No.
That's not a disqualifier.
My mind goes blank every 7 seconds. That could be.
That's a stumble. It's a stumbling block.
But the main thing is how unpleasant a person I am at my root.
It is. It is.
No, go the other way. You're good.
No, you're good.
You don't even like to say. I don't even believe me when you try and prop me up as an intelligent person anymore. You do it. You don't even commit to it anymore. You're very bright.
That's true.
do you know that I did? And this is why you have to admit therapy was good. But why would you admit it was? Why wouldn't you admit it? But that
I don't have a case against therapy. Let me just say that.
That I didn't know. I thought I was stupid. I didn't know that I thought I was stupid until therapy.
Oh, okay. You thought you thought you were smart until then?
I thought I was. Yes, I did think I was. I knew I was. I did well in school. I thought I was intelligent, but I also didn't realize how stupid I felt all the time.
Right.
And to even say it, I feel stupid. Like I'm stupid.
Like you didn't realize there was a central identity issue there.
Absolutely.
Right.
Just like any other thing would be. Like if you get, learning that if you get upset in an argument, if we're arguing about something and we get upset like it's about God or something like that, I never would have thought, no, it's your concept of God, Andy, not Josh's concept of God. You want him to say, oh, it's right. So it's your concept. And it came from the same root. My father both made me, I know I've said this so many times, he both made me feel stupid and that there was no God. Right. And my father was hilarious. So don't think that he was like, you're stupid. That was what made it worse.
Right.
Was that he encouraged me. He was hilarious. I was hilarious around him, but I couldn't have been stupider.
That's not true.
And there's no God.
Well, that I can't speak to, but
but you might say, Andy, when you don't hang up on me yet.
It's the overcompensation for that central truth that really hurts you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, because it comes into defensiveness, right? Defensiveness and because if you don't know,
because it then equates people disagreeing with you as thinking you're stupid.
That's right. That's right. And you used to say that. You used to say stupid to me a lot when we first met each other. Look stupid.
I think dumb fuck was usually
dumb fuck was good. Yeah. But that was funny in those days. Oh, God. I saved the show again, Josh. I bet you often wonder, how do I do it?
In fact, I'm going to go do that now.
Just the
How about a mic? How about a mic?
I have it, at least I have it, though.
That's good. That's good.
Apologies to you, sir.
No need.
Okay, you're very, very. You know what? You're not just a mensch. Sometimes I think of you as a woman-mensch. Oh God! Oh my God! Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I tickled my own tickling.
That reminds me. This is our last show before the break.
Really? Do we do this every year?
It's our now traditional August break. Yes.
I think it's the greatest thing. If you're really being serious about it, I'll be the happiest man in the world.
Serious about it.
But I don't want these putzes to think we're fighting.
No, I think this is one of our best breaks so far.
No, but what if I start a big fight with calling them putzes? They're not putzes.
Don't
the people
do that.
listen
We
to
need
our
them
show.
to come back.
I'm sorry.
We need them
These
to
people are
come
good
back.
people. They're better people than me. That's what I say.
Well, that's been my experience. Yeah.
I'm famous. I'm handsome, but I'm not as good as them.
No, I'd trade it all to be better. Stop that. Don't do that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Nothing funny about that. Nothing funny about it. Here's the thing. There's nothing funny about adding vocal problems to the show. There's nothing funny about it.
No, not for me.
Because I was going over with Susan some funny ways that I could sabotage the show.
Yeah.
More than I'm just doing.
You're doing fine. Don't worry.
So she said, why not just bubble wrap like every once in a second? Boop. Like with that. You don't even know where it came from. Boop. She didn't say this. I'm having the conversation with myself. Okay. Good morning to you.
And right back at you.
Yeah, we are in a good mood today. Maybe I'm not a terrible person.
No,
maybe I'm not defective.
I don't know where that leap of logic came from.
Well, because I'll tell you, I did have a big Twitter blowout, but it was it came out positively, and I actually feel.
Did it? No, I haven't seen it. I'm just going. Did it? I don't know how that happens.
Okay, I'm going to give you the short version because I know you hate when I go on and on because it's not good the way I go on and on.
There's Twitter or to me?
To you.
Okay.
There's got to be a way to shorten it. Okay, so what happened was this guy, Stavro.
Oh, you're gonna read it back to me?
No, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. It's ridiculous. It'll take too much longer. Okay, so this guy Stav Halkias, who I don't even know. I didn't even realize I had worked with him many, many years ago. I don't know anything about him except I saw him on the Mulaney show, and he laughs after his own material, and I wasn't much of a fan. But he comes up and he goes, I wish if I got fired from my job because I was doing a shitty job, I wouldn't be called a hero. And then, calling Biden, basically saying, right? And then basically saying, this guy ran for president in the 80s, couldn't win, became vice president for Obama because
I saw a little bit of this because somehow Thought Spiral's tag got looped into this too.
Okay.
I think he was denigrating the podcast along with you.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
So he's like, Biden was only picked to assuage racists with Obama. He was only picked to assuage racists. And here's the thing, so I came in not knowing who this guy was really, and I did it in a way that looks like I'm an asshole, but it was just being facetious because I said, hey, Mulaney, I insist that you condemn this guy, this hack, for saying these things. And then, of course, people for the rest of the day, you insist? Well, if the great Andy Kindler insists. And then the other thing that is pretty funny is the fact that they think I have an alt account, and there is actually a parody account of mine, and this guy just thinking it's that he won't believe that it's not me, because they assume I made an initial mistake by not switching to my sock puppet account, right? Okay, so it's close to all this stuff.
All they have to do is scroll up on your regular account.
Yeah, that's right. So
how long do you have to scroll before you get to crazy? Not long.
No, exactly. I choose any place and go down or up. So then all of a sudden, Morgan Murphy comes in, and let me tell you something. Morgan Murphy, I'm not a huge. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of her, and I was like, personally, I don't really. I just for some reason, but we've never not gotten along, and I backed her up when
now.
Right, I backed her up when Dave Anthony was being mean to her and all this stuff. She comes back with this. She says, "Oh, come on, Andy. You have to admit the first part is great, right? Which was the I wish I could do so shitty at my job that I'm called a hero when I'm fired. He goes, well, that's the part she said was great.
Yeah.
Okay. So I said to her, oh yeah, that would be great. And yeah, and I think it'll be even funnier in November when women can't have abortions because of the vote, right? And then she wrote this whole long thing that your tone is absolutely unacceptable. You're not willing to accept that there are voices to the left of this is the whole thing. They assume that their assumption is I love Biden, and I don't want anybody saying anything bad about him, right?
Yeah.
But that's not true. It's totally untrue. So,
well, but you have a history. You're still mad about someone calling Obama craven 10 years ago. So.
Oh, God damn it. Why did you bring it up? You're going to affect this session. Oh, no. We can never talk about this without saying I have my own issues. I have more than my whole issues. But so then I blocked her. And I explained later on in the day why I blocked her. But in the middle of it, I started to feel like I had made a tremendous mistake. This is what I'm saying to myself, right? Oh, I don't know who this Stavros Halkias is. People love him. And because thousands of people are hating on me now. They go, I'm a terrible person. And so because I have improved the therapy, I decided to tell Susan that I was in trouble. It used to be in the old days, I'd hide from Susan, I'd hide the fight. Hey, I'm not fighting with him. So I sat her down. I said, look, I'm really upset about this. And I told her exactly what happened. And, my assumption would be that she'd go, why are you playing around with that? Because that's kind of reinforced in myself.
Right.
So I think that that's what everyone's going to say because I can reinforce the worst opinions myself. But she basically said that what she thinks that bothers me is the fact that people lie and they're just telling the truth. And so maybe I just tell the truth about it, and which I did like a couple of tweets later that clarify it, and then that's it. I thought she was going to tell me take the Twitter and throw it in the ocean, but she kind of backed up. In other words, I retreat. I don't know what you do. I go to a place when I'm feeling bad. They just says you were like when I called you up that time and over his name. I forgot his name. I was crying and the guy Mehdi Hassan, right? I'm the worst person in the world. And let me just say. On the Mehdi Hassan thing, it's interesting to me because he was already talking about, he wasn't saying, he said, I don't want to hear about his stutter. But he was part of the thing saying Biden was a nutcase. He was saying that he went to South Africa and said crazy things. So, I mean, it's been going along for a long time that they, on the left and right, trying to portray, Biden as being nuts. Which I think the real case is you see the Oval Office speech?
Yes.
Yeah. So the Oval Office speech, I felt a little sad, but not, here's my current take on it. If you say to yourself, Biden's a person, he's not a monster, he's a person, then you can say he probably didn't realize how off he's sounding. Or he may not be able to understand cognitively how off he is, right? But it's not that they've been hiding that he had Parkinson's for 3 years or all of this stuff, Right. I think he kind of learned about it at the same time we did during the debate.
Right.
So, well, anyway, I don't care about Morgan Murphy, but I care about the fact that I love her, but I care about the fact that because what she's doing is she's doing like a group thing with comics. Hey, come on, man. It's comedy, baby. And it's like, to me, it's like hack jokes are fucking hack jokes. Biden was not chosen just to assuage racists, right? Is that a lie? Is that a lie or not a lie?
I think it's an opinion.
It's an opinion. Right. But they're presenting them as facts.
Right.
Because later on,
that happens a lot. Happens a lot these days.
They're coming later on with genocide. Oh, and a friend of mine for years goes, "Oh, I can't believe Andy doesn't understand about genocide, Joe." Well, I unblocked him and told him today. I resent people thinking that they're a better person because I'm decided to vote for Biden, or because I voted for Biden, I don't understand his weaknesses. I mean, it's just ridiculous. The fact that I'm more concerned the day after Kamala is picked about, hey, let's get excited about this election, and this hack, maybe he's not a hack in his act, but this hack both sides guy who's making millions of dollars with this kind of comedy. Everybody's fucked up. He's making money that way. He's making money by saying, Biden, I can't believe he didn't fall on his face. It's Reagan had cancer because he had his head up his butt. It's the same jokes. It's the exact same jokes. And Reagan deserved them more. So boy, do I feel good.
Yeah.
Boy, is my face no longer red.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that Twitter isn't a hellhole and that we're going to leave it.
Yeah, no, I've left it for all intents and purposes.
Well, how about that?
I mean, it's like I literally go to Twitter 3 times a week, maybe, and I don't think I've posted in a couple of weeks. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, this guy who claims that my sock puppet account would be named John Wayne Really Gacy. Really Gacy. And that guy's making fun of the way
Yeah.
The guy whose account is John Wayne Really Gacy. So he has kind of my voice rhythm.
Right.
But the fact that guy thinks that that's me, that I think it's hilarious to call myself John Wayne Really. I mean, come on, people. Don't equate me with the hacks. Oh. But I have been feeling a lot of step in my step the past few weeks. I'm not going to get to the point where I'm going to become mindlessly. No. Well, it wasn't even like this in 2016, but I was a little bit confident that she would win, Hillary.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to let that happen to me. But I'm just enjoying the bounce.
For sure.
When you get $100 million in a day and a half, that's what I call trending upwards.
Yeah. That means you're either running a very good presidential campaign or you're going to do a special for Netflix.
I know that you wanted me to laugh at that joke because you didn't put too much on the only one like that.
Well, I was writing as I was speaking, so I couldn't put too much. Yeah. I didn't know where it was going to end up.
Meanwhile, you know what you told me about? You said this to me Monday. You sent me after the meeting, we had a breakdown meeting.
Now I can know that it's fictional. So go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
You said, Andy, I don't want you to get the impression that I don't want to hear more about the Mets, because I do want to hear about your goings on with the Mets. So please don't feel like during the podcast that you have. I love it. The people love it, and I love it. So I just want to say they're on a roll, baby. They're on a roll. Jeff McNeil has hit 4 home runs in my own advocacy made me sad.
Yeah.
But you know what I did last Sunday when Kamala took over? I actually said this to myself. The Mets lost. I started to get sad. I go, well, but this happened. I'm balancing off the Mets losing with the future of the country. Don't you think my priorities are a little bit out of whack?
No, it's just solipsism.
Well, no, but I think, isn't that a victim of like when you're a kid, you're taught to root harder or something? Or I actually realize now that one of the reasons why I get so defensive is because my father and my uncle they didn't like Joe Namath. He sucks.
Yeah.
So the fact that I like Joe Namath, and so I was vindicated when he won the Super Bowl. But not every family is yelling that the Jets suck like my family was doing.
Yeah.
Like my family was absolutely taking their own issues and putting it on Joe Namath. He just throws a lot. The guy doesn't make good decisions. No, you're afraid that you don't make good decisions. Larry Kindler and Alan Leff. But now I would like to think I want to root for the people I root for and not call them, and not even go, like, here's what I'll do. God damn it. Why did you throw the slider there? Like he intended to throw the slider there.
All right.
But God damn it. Well, what would I do? And how would God damn it help me?
I think it's because you have this idealized picture of a sports fan, what a sports fan does.
So. That's true.
And you want to live up to it somehow.
Yeah,
and you're never going to.
I'm sorry. Did I yell too loud for my team? I also appreciate your team, sir. That's me at the ballpark. Hey, the Pirates are going to do well, if not today, in the future.
Yeah.
But you know what that's about? I always got nervous when I was at the games. I'm a little guy. I was always afraid. I'm not going to go yell. I didn't yell out. I would, if others cheered for the Jets, but I wasn't going to yell out, fuck. Well, we were at Shea Stadium, so I guess we could do whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, just thinking about all these different things, like, this guy caught a ball.
You're just one of the few people I know who can bake fear into sports fandom in a way that other people just don't seem to get to.
Well, the reason why it's something to look at is because if it's just there's a something between not watching them at all when they suck. Well, I guess not watch. They suck for so many years, but when I come back and watch. It's just so that I don't get crazy from it.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, I always like what Bill Murray said about when we used to go to Chicago games, and he'd go, "Why are you booing? Why are you booing the players? Boo yourself," is what he would say. But I don't know. Bill Murray's a little bit more scatterbrained or weirder than I thought. I thought everything he did was hilarious. I thought everything when he goes up behind someone on the street. And says, right. You'll never be able to tell this to anybody.
It was all because of his gregarious, generous soul.
That's what I thought. Yeah. That's another. That's right. Susan had a good line. We were watching MSNBC. She goes, "Oh, look at Katie Tour with her wry smile." That's so nails Katie Tour that she doesn't look like. I don't know why I'm so great at this. But I am. But you don't watch her enough. But neither one of us watch her enough to be able to make a full. I mean, she's hard to watch.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, she's always like, well, she'll either say something stupid like, well, of course, after Biden's faltering, doddering speech, she doesn't know. She's just you're a news person. Keep it down for a while. Have I mentioned about The Sopranos and I'm? Season 4 I'm up to. Unbelievable.
This is the year they play the Mets, right?
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
How can you remember things like that? This is the Subway series?
No.
Not The Sopranos.
No, it was just a joke. It was just
a
joke about things you talk about that I don't care about.
Okay, I was thinking about our favorite bits though from the old days that I used to do that I was good at and I can never do again. Goddamn monkeys! See, I don't have to spark anymore.
No.
You goddamn didn't do it, you monkeys! Like that.
Right. It's not nothing. There's nothing there. That's why we need to take a break.
That's right. How long is our break? For the whole month?
Yeah, we'll be back on Labor Day.
Oh my God, Josh! People say you're not an alpha guy, that you don't take charge, that you complain and you moan, but I like that you're finally. What do I stand to gain by my hideous personality?
I don't know.
Seriously, you must know because you've been with me. I mean, you know more than anybody else for every week for the last 20 years. You must know why. You must have some insights into
I don't
why.
know. All I know is that there's something your dad did that makes you act this way to me.
But then the old wound gets hurt. Oh, boy. I'll tell you something. I just took the first, well, not the half of the show because I was late, but I fucking knocked it out of the park again. Unbelievable.
No.
This personality doesn't serve anything well either.
Not really, no.
Are you watching anything? The Twins are better this year, people are saying. They're having a good year.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good. I don't watch them because I don't have the MLB package like you.
Yeah, I'll come to your house and you go, look at my rally towel. It's from 1945. Why is it in a frame, Josh? That was my rally towel when I visited the Twins on the big year. You pretend as if you are. Oh, okay, I'm okay now. I think it might have been.
No, you're not.
It's gastrointestinal.
You're just done. It doesn't make you okay.
No, but it's gastrointestinal. Maybe it has nothing to do with you.
All right, that's it. Well, I guess we'll go to questions.
You really can't stand me.
No. I want to get to this.
Okay.
It's the last
Why
day.
not?
It's the last day of school, man.
When did you decide that this was going to happen?
Well, Alex and I talked, and we were going to have to take at least 3 weeks off.
Oh, okay.
Because of his schedule. And he was counting on pretty much the thing. And so today is when I made the decision. It turns out we actually have been taking August off, so why don't we just make that a tradition?
And it's not like we're going to get out of line with how popular we are. We'll be able to get right back in.
It'll continue to dwindle even in our absence.
That makes me angry. We told you we're taking August off.
I think we need. We need to do a little bit of a refreshing while we're off. A little refreshing of the show. We need some stuff. We need a little bit of something.
Well, what do you think I should do? What do you got any ideas?
I don't know.
You mean a little more zets?
I thought of one segment we could do each week.
Okay.
Where we retire a grudge.
I like that a lot.
All right.
Don't make me start with Adam Sandler, though.
No, you don't have to. You can do it in whatever order you want. You just have to.
I have so many grudges.
You have to provide a grudge each week.
That could be half of the year's episodes.
Okay, but that's
okay. I will do that.
Are you fine with that? Because we can now. We can tease it. We can tease it for next season.
Yes. What
next
grudge
season,
have I like?
We will be retiring a grudge of week of Andy Kindler's.
And how about you?
I might even throw in a guest grudge, but I can't possibly provide one a week. I have like 3 grudges, so we can space them out.
But do I really have a grudge, or I just have a saucy way of looking about life?
Yeah, well,
saucy.
we can determine that with each one.
With each grudge I let go of. Okay, it's not going to start with Sandler, so I have to start to.
No. But think about which ones you're ready. Already.
I'm going to pick a hot.
And then my prediction is, as each one is retired, you'll start to feel lighter and be excited to retire the next one.
Wow! So this is not just something that would be good for the show. It's good for me emotionally.
I'm hoping. But if not, I'm just happy for the show.
What? How about this? How about more of my singing, or me talking about my voice, or me saying things like, no one told me I was the greatest singer when I opened my mouth at age 7. Daddy, what do you think of this? Ha, ho, he, ho. Sounds pretty bad. You are a bad person.
Who stepped on a cat, asshole?
Very good. Very good. Well, let's get to the questions before you check yourself out of here.
Okay.
It's time for questions. What do you want to know? We love your questions so much. It's half our show. Half our show.
We're going to do Instagram first today.
Going to the gram.
That's how
we call it.
That's how frothy I feel.
Oh my God, you're full of spit, full. Okay.
Yeah, I'm full of all the right fluids.
Oh, my physical therapy has been unbelievably good.
Oh, good.
She's going away for 2 weeks, but I have almost no pain. I mean, it's like they have machines there that help you with different things.
Yes, they do.
Yes, I don't have those at home.
No. That's where the value comes in.
And boy, do I know Tarzana better than you, probably, at this point.
I don't know.
Probably not. Take my advice and take Burbank, though.
I recorded a whole album in Tarzana.
Did you take Burbank often to get there?
Sure, because it ends at Reseda.
Boom. Boom. No, it ends at Ventura. Don't, you got it wrong. It ends at Ventura Boulevard. That's what's crazy about it.
Where Reseda, just past where Reseda and Ventura.
No, you're absolutely right. Right past Reseda Avenue.
Yeah.
Maybe even past Encino Avenue. How's everybody doing? Who is here from the West Valley? How many people is there anybody here from Calabasas? I would say get your ass back to the Caliber.
Parush wants to know, who are you rooting for Major League Cricket season? And I can tell you, Parush, I can tell you with 100% sincerity.
I have no answer.
No, I am behind whoever you're behind, Parush.
Right, because we trust him as a person.
Let us know. I'll even say the name.
Wait, the name
in
of
September.
What? The team?
Huh?
The team?
Yeah.
The team, you mean, right?
The team, yeah.
Which is going to be like something like the Staffordshire Cricket Faces, or the Long Brong, what are those names? I could think of them. But Lancashire, Gretna Green, Granada. Okay, I'm good.
My favorite team is the Jiminy's.
How many people are going to get that?
I don't care.
I know I did.
Dan Wade, have you ever been to paradise? How about to you? It's
Is that like from a song?
I guess, but it's better than hi.
No, it sounds. Isn't that like by the paradise by the dashboard lights, the dashboard lights, the dashboard lights?
My old friend Jennifer says, "Do you have the recipe for the Texatonka bagel sticks?" I do not. I'm afraid.
Oh my! Oh, I have your container to return.
Ah, okay.
I wanted you to make sure that you didn't think I threw it away.
I didn't. I did not think you threw it away. I didn't think about it at all. I'll be honest.
I know. And Susan was like, "Do you know you still have Josh's thing here?"
I'm waiting for you to come back with fill her up.
I will say that now.
No, but the New York bagels at Texatonka did have. They had these what were called salt sticks, and they were.
Now, what are you talking about? How come I wasn't here for that?
This is my friend from St. Louis Park growing up. She's a good friend of mine.
Oh, and they were good?
She lives in England now. They were very good, yeah. I mean, they were the best bagels you were going to get, by Minnesota bagel standards, they were primo.
Now, if I went to Minnesota, I could probably find an Einstein's.
It was originally called Bagelville, and then it became New York Bagels.
Oh, cool.
Wampus Reynolds says, is there a food you like to buy somewhere besides a store/restaurant? Watermelon from the back of a truck just tastes better. Scientific fact. I mean, I like a farmer's market, but I don't go to a lot of farmer's markets.
You answered both for me. I would say exactly ditto. I used to go to the farmer's markets all the time, especially when I lived in Brentwood. I would walk over there, but it's exhausting. And then it was pre-pandemic. Post-pandemic.
I'm on kind of like a cook good food, like healthy, good ingredient foods kick right now.
Wow,
so,
that sounds.
So
like
I could see a farmer's market visit in the near future.
Right, but you just don't want to be going around to the bullets. Hey, Josh is here. What do you have for me? No, you want to get in and get out and go.
Exactly. I don't want to be chefy.
Chefy.
Full Dork says, have you ever thought about doing a musical comedy album together? Your sincere music is great, but I wonder what would unlock if you mixed it with your comedy superpowers. I would for sure buy it and see you perform live. I think that would be a huge mistake, us doing a music project.
I just started thinking about the songs that I have that are kind of funny that we could do. And
it would just be a fucking massive mistake for us to try to bring our separate attitudes to a music project.
Well, I like Randy Newman. Maybe I can get to his level quick.
Yes, exactly. I think, abstractly, I love the idea. Working with a friend, doing a thing I like. But when you get more concrete about it, it's a mistake. Huge mistake, in fact. SJK000 or 000 says, if nominated as VP, will you accept? Question for either one of you.
Oh, well, this is something.
I'm not old enough, so. I
have gotten some back channel interest in me from porn sites. No, I would accept though, but I think that's I think yes, but I will not serve if I'm elected.
I just see J.D. Vance taking shots at how famous you are.
Did you realize he was going to be as bad as he turned out to be?
You take a shot at him, and you go, "Oh, you're just jealous."
Hillbilly Nazi.
Yep. Nice firm handshake says, glad the questions are back. We don't want to cause Andy unnecessary stress, but I think the audience participation adds a nice sense of community to the show. Thanks for all the spirals, fellas.
I agree with that, but I do think that we were relying on it too much or something. Or not relying on it too much.
No, I just think it was going really badly.
What do you mean?
That's what I said.
It was going badly. Yes, it was going badly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I don't regret the pause.
Right. But then you're not advertising, hey, we're coming back in September with more letters. You're just skipping on the down.
No, because I got retire a grudge. I'm going to do a song and everything for it.
Oh, this is great. Aren't you glad that I'm amenable to it and not like, oh, I don't want to do that. I have too many grudges.
You'll freeze up after 2 weeks, but I think it's a great thing to start. I think there's going to be some you go, I'm not willing to let it go.
I think I'll start out with someone like Arsenio. Or
That's fine,
like that.
as long as there's a bona fide, not just
reason to let it go.
It can't just be he offended my sensibilities. It has to be. Zeke Fosse.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I think he wasn't one of the people who set you off.
Oh, he might have been. But you know what, Zeke? I love you. I love you, Zeke.
That's nice. See?
I don't even remember
Don't retire the grudge too soon. That's for next season. Dave Grohl goes in a suit to Wimbledon.
Dave Grohl's here?
Please.
He's writing to you?
Please.
I'm sorry, I got excited.
Zeke Fosse says.
Oh.
Dave Grohl goes in a suit to Wimbledon while Dave Matthews protests Bono's visit to D.C. Why is Grohl lionized and Matthews called a lightweight?
Why is Matthews protesting Bono going to D.C.? He doesn't want to get money for AIDS from George W. Bush? What's his position here, Zeke?
I don't know.
Zeke, where are you going with this?
I don't know.
Bono is a good man, and he wants to get money for AIDS. And he still haven't found. That could even very easily, in the wrong hands, be like a lounge song. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. It's just that little switch.
Right. I heard ELO's Evil Woman last night and pictured Trump licensing it for his rally.
Is that song Evil Woman? I never knew that. Who'd you say it was?
ELO.
Oh my God. I love that ELO. Go ahead. What's that reference to? I love that ELO.
I don't know.
Randy Newman song.
Oh.
He goes, I love that ELO. Okay, I'll have to find the song for you.
I Drive By Night says, since Eastside 76 is the official Mexican of Thought Spiral, can I be the official East Coast Jew?
I don't think I think that's a good category. I think, why shouldn't you be? There's many East Coast Jews.
Are you willing to relinquish your East Coast Judaism?
Who's that, me?
You. I mean, because otherwise you'd pretty much be our East Coast Jew.
No, I'm willing. I think it's, I think it's, after you live more than half your life in L.A., I think you can say this is where I live now. I relinquish any ties to Queens.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm willing to give up Minnesota Jew, really.
No, because that has a certain cachet.
Yeah, that's true. It separates as opposed to homogenizes me.
And it doesn't make you sound Jewy. You're like, oh, he's a cool Jew, like the Coen brothers.
Right. Eastside 76, speak of the devil, says, settle a debate for me, please. I say I'm the official Mexican of Thought Spiral, but I was born in the USA. Both my parents are 100% Mexican. Doesn't that make me 200% Mexican?
I think that you couldn't be any more Mexican if you had fuzzy. Let me think of all of the stereotypes. If you had fuzzy dice and your car was up to the level of the what else? The World Trade. The cars are up, right?
No, they're low.
They're up.
They're low, actually.
Well, oh, is that why they say low? Okay, well, if they're going low, who are the guys?
Sometimes they go high. Sometimes they go high.
Oh, okay.
You're thinking of monster trucks.
Yeah, I'm thinking of funny cars.
You're always thinking of funny cars. You walk around going, "I have a funny car."
You nailed me. I did laugh fakely, but
it was a fake. It was a fake joke. It wasn't even.
Yeah, that's the way it
wasn't
should
really
be
worthy of.
reacted
It wasn't worthy of oxygen, let alone fake laughter.
I like that. Not worthy of oxygen. 65 degrees downtown Los Angeles. You're listening to the letters portion of the thoughts. I forgot the name.
So much.
It's a lot to remember. It's been a while. Like I said. Everybody now goes, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. And that's like, Holocaust survivors never go. Now, how do you feel? It still bothers you? Do you remember all the details? It's been a minute. It's been a minute. It was a lot. They don't even say that either. It was a lot. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry for trying my material out.
Things Holocaust survivors don't say. Bing! There we go. Iram here. Thanks for bringing questions back. And if it's any consolation, I understand from where Andy was coming. Way back when Perush can tell us which episode, I was trying to be cool when I tweeted a slight shot at Andy. This sucks because he's the reason why I even listen. Wow, you did.
Thank you.
I'm not really sure we needed that.
Should that be to me, the email?
I'm sorry, Andy. The thought that someone who hardly knows you. I'm sorry, Andy. Period. The thought that someone who hardly knows you can take a personal shots is laughable and weirdly parasocial. Josh, thank you for making this podcast possible. I look forward to your fine work each week. I even look forward to the 4-week break.
Wonderful. Did you write this?
No, I would have made myself funnier rather than just a facilitator.
Well, excellent, excellent. But I don't know what that word. I don't know what it means.
Parasocial means when you have an imagined relationship with somebody because, because like people who listen to this podcast might think they're friends with us,
right?
Because of the tone of it.
Yes.
And as far as I'm concerned, you are people.
You're friends. You're his friend. I feel as good about you as I feel about all the people in my life. I don't think about them, and I'm self-centered.
Delicious Mix says, it looks like, in reference to last week's acronym confusion, TRT is testosterone replacement therapy, which I did realize later.
What do we call it?
Nothing. We just didn't know what they were talking about.
Testosterone what?
Replacement therapy.
Okay.
I'm actually terrified of the idea of Andy having the stamina of a 30-year-old. Thank God soapboxes are made out of cardboard nowadays. Peace and love, Ashkenazis. What?
He's calling you a Nazi, right? Not me.
I don't know what's going on there.
I like the guy who doesn't matter what people say as long as it wasn't directed to him. Well, he's talking about you, right? With the Nazis.
Sure. Daisy Petunia wants to know, what kind of fool are you?
Oh. That's
for you.
Oh. What does Michael O'Donnell say? I'm a fool to who?
What a fool believes.
What a fool believes. How does he do his voice like that? I mean, I know it's good. That's one thing.
It's like,
what a fool believes.
You don't know me, but I'm your brother. Are you telling me the things you're gonna do to me?
Bump.
I ain't blind, but I don't like what I think I see.
Taking it to the streets.
Taking it to
the streets. He once said that you should be able to sing in any range, in any key. And I think his ability made him say that, because I can't do it.
No.
Wonder. I'm flat to a note that I haven't even established.
We're on Twitter now, and David King of Boogie Go says,
"Oh yes, I retweeted his question.
I get the feeling that Andy Kindler may be perturbed. Is everything okay over there? He's been following you, apparently.
I think I'm better now. I had a rough week. I'm okay now."
Greg Kelly says, I wanted to thank James Mason for all his grace. I've heard he was a Mr. Biden in the post-debate period, and really was an influence on his decision to drop out.
Who's this?
Thanks, James Mason. Huh?
Oh, James Mason was not involved.
Well, that's what Greg Kelly heard he was.
Oh.
And,
I thought he only hawks liquor.
We can ask him if he was. But,
yeah, James.
Yes.
Yeah. What about these latest rumors? Such a great straight man.
I wouldn't say that I was an influencer, but I did write that column in the London Times.
Oh.
That I was withholding my support.
You're so full of yourself with that British accent. A lot of people aren't, but you really are saying like
this
you're
is
better.
What I came to the table with, my friend.
Yeah, but it sounds like posh, like you're trying to be posher than you are.
I'm not trying. It comes naturally.
Even when you drink a night train or whatever you drink?
Yes, especially after 3.
Night trains. It's bad alcohol when it's not even named anything that could be alcohol.
Right. It's Thunderbird wine, my friend. Don't cheap.
Does it have? It tastes like It tastes like everything else, right? It tastes like all cheap wine.
It's an interesting taste all its own.
I needed the check clear.
Stephen Chaotic Neutral says, so in honor of Biden stepping down, here's a clip from Test Show 100 before the 2020 primaries were over, where you voice your trepidation. By the way, if it breaks format too much, feel free to cut it. No, I'm okay with my
trepidation.
My trepidation at the time.
Your historical trepidation. We're both scared now, but we were scared at the time. Sure.
Yeah. It was an acquired taste, the Biden for me.
Well, we never really, made a meal out of him.
Well, we till some comic talks shit about him, and suddenly,
God damn it!
Suddenly you're the ghost of Bo. Tweet Bahara says, no amateur comedy writing from old Tweet this week. Just wanted to let you guys know that your podcast makes everything a little bit better every week, and things are pretty good already. So win-win. Thanks, guys.
Well, thank you. And now I feel bad that we're going
I do too,
for August.
Exactly. My first thought as well.
But we can't be responsible for everyone's happiness.
Well, I was glad to hear that things are good anyway. We're not leaving them on the edge.
Right.
BD West says, guys, the Ohio State Supreme Court just ruled that expecting boneless chicken wings to be free of bones is like expecting chicken fingers to contain actual fingers. Wait, what? Not a bit. Andy, how would Mort feel about this mortuary business-friendly ruling?
I have no opinion. I have no opinion about. Look, if you don't like cremation, we'll bury them. If you don't like to bury them, we'll mess them up and make them disheveled. They won't let me do this kind of material on the show.
I was excited that you finally did Mort for free. John Dunbar says, with all the talk of a new Andy album, is Josh considering a follow-up to Chunks or perhaps a musical album?
What is it?
Well,
maybe you could do a musical album.
I could do a musical album. I probably wouldn't, but
yeah.
At this point, it's I would say equally likely, if not more likely, than another stand-up album.
Oh, okay.
I found the resounding silent reaction to my comedy album to be all the message I needed from the world.
Stop that! It was not. What about the big award you got for it?
I got
the national
Jesse
Thorne.
Jesse Thorne, Bullseye Guy, called it one of the best of the year. But that was literally the only person who mentioned it.
Are you talking about the comedy one or the other guy?
What do you mean?
DeVille? What's his name? Michael DeVille?
No, I'm talking about Jesse Thorne on Bullseye.
No, but what was you talking to? Both of your movies, or what was you referring to?
No, my album.
Your album.
Which is what
What's
we
the
were
matter
talking
with me?
about.
Okay, but I had the thing. The doctor gave me something new, and it makes me a little funny. You wish.
Take two. Scrumptious Mike says, hey Josh, I heard that you had some audio of Huell Hauser interviewing Red Hats at the rally after Trump was almost assassinated. I'm sure we'd all love to hear an excerpt. Peace be upon ye.
Oh my God. Oh my God, I think my hero has been shot. Oh my God, can you help me, Huell Hauser?
I'm right here. I think it was just fireworks. I'm pretty sure it was just the sound of fireworks over there.
No, Huell, I know you're a positive.
Oh my God, there's people tackling him up there. That's not right. That's not. Why would they let these people in dark suits get to the stage and tackle the man?
I'm just glad that you let go of your positive outlook to acknowledge there were negative events happening.
There's something terrible happening, but this corn is fantastic.
Your face got so pitchy, like you're going to pitch us.
Little something called being in character, Andy. Try it out sometime. Mike Graham says it was delightful listening to TS365 the day after the Biden to Harris forward pass and hearing you guys still reacting to the previous gloomy week.
Wow.
Question, what huge event do you think will happen while this week's show is being edited?
I think they'll have an early election, or Trump will go to jail. I think we'll finally, because he didn't get sentenced soon.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to jail. I think that's not.
I'm looking at some of the works of Aileen Cannon, and she's not a bad jurist. If you don't count this case, is she a jurist?
She is a jurist. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Stephen Elton Yates says, "Gents, what was your favorite childhood toy?" I have to say it changed throughout my childhood.
That's true. Name some of them.
Starting with stuffed animals, moving to Tonka trucks, moving to Fisher-Price Adventure People and Star Wars sets. Legos were a through line. There was Flying Aces, which was like a rubber band based airplane launching thing. There was
you had a whole situation going on over there.
There was Vertibird was a big favorite for a while.
Well, mine are going to be more like
Rebound
Slinky.
was one of my favorite board
What's that?
games. It was a rolling marble board game thingy.
I liked...
And then video games. Then Pong, Atari, and television.
Wow. So you've really explored everything. I liked...
I had a stick with a cup.
I liked rock. I think I liked the idea of Rock'em Sock'em Robots, but I don't think I ever had one.
My friend Craig had Rock'em Sock'em Robots. So
And how were they? Not
fun,
that
fun for a short time.
And my favorite toy when I got it, but I realized it was a really disappointing toy, was my electric football game. I loved it like I couldn't even believe it. I used to try and get the players to throw like a felt ball. I don't even know how you
They
score.
don't throw. You stick it in the base and they run with it.
Oh, okay. Well, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
Until
have
they get
the
jammed
rules.
up against the side going.
It's so funny to me when you go, is this game going to be problematic at all? No, I don't think so. I'm like, no.
What was a good game though was rod hockey. You know those hockey
yes.
games with the sliding, the players that would
They're
slide
called
up.
We used to call them knock hockey.
Yeah, well, that was different though. That was when you hold the stick.
Okay, explain.
I'm talking about this is where it has players on the board and they're all on rod.
Foosball.
It's like foosball except it's hockey and they slide up and down.
Oh, I've never
the
seen
ice
it.
And they rotate so you spin them and it hits the puck.
Oh, that's cool.
It was good.
Air hockey I liked for a couple of weeks.
Air hockey is good. My wife loves air hockey, and then I beat her, and she hates air hockey. Andrew Coleman Francis says, during your touring days, did you find some jokes worked better in some parts of the country than in others? If so, did you ever rework a joke or change the tone or just drop a joke completely in some areas? Yes, and yes.
Yes, that's true. Absolutely, certain jokes wouldn't go over in certain areas, right?
Especially since I had a lot of Minnesota winter material. That was just like no one's going to give a shit in North Carolina about my winter.
Bud Anderson cared because he had 4 hours of material.
Just on winter.
Yeah.
Mike Hanratty says Rich Hall made it big in England. Which country other than the U.S. or Canada would you want to be a star in? Probably England, just because I could understand the enjoyment of it, at least.
Right. Sometimes I fancy myself as being French, but then I the problem with that is I don't speak French that well or at all, really.
Right.
I claim to know things. I would say Canada only because I'm thinking about it in terms of where I will flee to, I can flee to.
Do you have an in? I don't know.
I don't even know if I do.
You're better off in Israel. I think you have a better chance in Israel.
Don't do that to me. Don't make me go to Israel with Ari. What's his name? Ari, who's that comedian? Avi Lieberman.
Yeah.
He's like a right-wing Jew.
That's the worst kind. Let me just see if we're missing any here. Oh, Suvid says, to me, I guess, you are pals with David Krumholtz? Cool, he has that weed illness that made him stop. Talk about a cautionary tale, huh? Anyway, he's cool and funny. He was on a podcast and ripped a successful actor, TV co-star of LL Cool J, for being the truly lousy actor he is. Bring him on.
That's pretty good. Wait, who are we talking about?
David Krumholtz.
Oh, do you know about the thing he said he had? Do you know about this pot sickness?
Didn't he have just that retching disease or whatever or something?
I never heard about it. I did not hear
I've known he's had I've known him a while, and he's had some on and off serious problems with weed before that too. For a while he had to have basically just a goon accompany him
Follow
everywhere.
him around, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He's so great in Slums of Beverly Hills. Oh my God, is he good?
He's a really good actor, and he was great on Freaks and Geeks, which is where I met him.
Yes.
And He was great in Oppenheimer. As recently as Oppenheimer, he was good, and he brought the nail on the head Jewishness to the character that it really needed to talk to.
What was his character? I just saw that movie. How come I don't remember his character?
He's the guy played by David Krumholtz.
Ho ho ho!
I think that's all we got.
Do you have a way that if people like the show, they can support it? Is there a way? Do they write a letter? How do they help?
Well, there's a few ways they can support it. Don't unsubscribe while we're on break. Support the show that way.
Please don't.
If you'd like to support us in a more monetary way, go to buymeacoffee.com/thoughts.
That's right. But you're not obligated. But
of course you're not obligated.
But please.
But you will delight us.
And I'm going to right now do something that I've never done in the show before. I'm going to hang up on Josh. Daddy, what do you think of this? Ha ho he ho. Sounds pretty bad. You are a bad person.